Monday Night Raw, Smackdown. Let's talk about it.
What's up, guys? The phenomenal AJ Styles, and you're watching Bretto Live.
Welcome to the Week in Review, episode 302, where we talk about Monday Night Raw and Friday Night Smackdown in a WWE action figure setup style. Coming off an insane Monday Night Raw from last week, the Raw after WrestleMania. Here is the second Raw after WrestleMania. We have been introduced to our brand new faction here, which is insane. I will get into that in just a sec. This is episode 302 of the Week in Review setup. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw with a brand new ring mat, which looks freaking fantastic. And without further ado, let's talk about Monday Night Raw from Kansas City, Missouri. Opening up the show with our brand new trio faction of Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman. First of all, I find this faction very interesting. I'm still trying to feel it out. Do I like it? Do I not? I do like it. I think it's new. I think it's fresh. I think it's cool. I was wondering who was going to interrupt them or if they were going to announce like a third or a fourth member, if you will. But they get interrupted by Sami Zayn, and I found this kind of odd. Sami Zayn comes out and Seth Rollins basically threatens Sami. If you don't agree with what I'm doing here, then you are an enemy. So he basically offered Sami Zayn, either you can go to SmackDown, or if you stay here and disagree with me, you're an enemy. And Sami Zayn was threatened, so Sami Zayn had to think about this all show. Do I go to SmackDown or do I stay a threat here on Monday Night Raw to this brand new group? Very interesting way to start the show. This is not how I thought it was going to go. We jumped into our opening match, which was Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez. Bro, this match was so good. Why did it have to end in a disqualification, man? Julia, obviously, from NXT, as well as Roxanne Perez. Julia's going to jump in the ring and attack Rhea Ripley right as she's about to deliver the Riptide and win the match and beat Roxanne Perez. Luckily for Io Sky did run down because it was a 2-on-1 attack on Rhea Ripley. They'd fight off Roxanne, they'd fight off Julia, but Rhea Ripley's leg was not feeling it. Roxanne targeted the leg the entire match. But I did enjoy this, man. I'm a big fan of Roxanne, Rhea, and Io. It looks like it's going to maybe turn into a tag team match possibly here in the future. Io, Rhea versus Roxanne and Julia. I am down for that. That sounds good to me. But yeah, I'm just kind of disappointed this match ended in a DQ, bro. Rhea had it. All right, so Logan Paul had something to say. He was going to address the WWE Universe. Obviously, you know he had to mention his cheap win at WrestleMania where he beat AJ Styles. He shouldn't have, by the way. That was pathetic. But I understand why they did it now, because he's next in contention for the World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso, he ain't going to back down from a challenge, so Jey Uso's going to come out and basically just say, I'm untouchable now. Yeet. And then he drops Logan Paul with a super kick, which felt great. Oh my gosh, he drops Logan Paul and then yeets with the crowd, past some kid who beat cancer in the front row with some sunglasses, which was amazing. I loved that moment. But yeah, this is probably going to be our Backlash match. Logan Paul, Jey Uso, World Heavyweight Championship in St. Louis at Backlash. Ought to be pretty good. Later in the show, Logan Paul would get a little revenge on Jey Uso backstage, knocking him out, bro. Literally knocking him out after he was done talking to Sami Zayn. They're technically even. One super kick for one lucky punch. I guess they're even. It was a tag team match. The return of JD McDonough, bro. I love JD. So JD and Finn Balor are like basically the only members in the Judgment Day besides Carlito that don't have like championship gold. So Liv Morgan's like, all right, Finn, all right, JD, I got you guys a tag team match. But the communication with Finn Balor has not been there. Like, they haven't been communicating with Finn. Nobody's been telling him anything. So he was oblivious to this match. So he didn't really have time to prepare. So they had a tag team match up against the Viking Raiders. And this was kind of considered a number one contender match a little bit. It wasn't like labeled as a number one contender match. Anyways, that's besides the fact. Penta is going to screw over the Judgment Day here, obviously, because they screwed him over in a match recently. So Penta's like, you know what? Screw you, Judgment Day. Pushes JD off the top rope, and then the Viking Raiders hit their little tag team finishing maneuver, and they beat the Judgment Day 1, 2, 3. Maybe back in line to fight the New Day for the tag team championships. I loved the New Day on commentary, by the way. I love when WWE does special guest commentators. I just find it so much fun how they're able to communicate with Pat and communicate with Michael Cole. Thought that was awesome. And then the Viking Raiders and the New Day got into it a little bit during the match, after the match. So I would assume they're probably just going to do a rematch, maybe at Backlash. Viking Idiots versus the New Day, probably again for the tag titles. I mean, it's okay. I would have preferred JD and Finn winning here, though. Becky Lynch got an opportunity to speak her mind on why she did it. Why did she attack Lyra Valkyria last week on Monday Night Raw? Well, first of all, she admitted to attacking Bayley. That's just how she got in the match at WrestleMania, bro. That's how she got in. She attacked Bayley. We all thought it was Liv and Raquel. No, it was Becky Lynch. She admitted to it. And I loved Lyra Valkyria's promo, man. We don't normally hear talking from Lyra, but she kicked some butt here. She's like, yeah, people warned me about you, Becky Lynch, and the number one person who did was Bayley, and I should have listened to her. So Lyra's going to come out, basically fight off Becky Lynch. It kind of ended in a brawl. So this is probably going to be our IC Championship match at Backlash, which I'm excited about. As Lyra Valkyria is walking up the entrance ramp, though, Becky comes back, takes a big blow right to the back of Lyra Valkyria. So I was like, bro, cheap shot from this heel, Becky Lynch. But Becky Lynch thinks she's in the right. She's like, she doesn't think she's done anything wrong. She hates Bayley. Bayley's attacked her multiple times in the past, which I agree. But Bayley's face now. Now Becky's the freaking heel. But yeah, I'm excited about this match. And great job, Lyra, man. Great promo. Penta was backstage speaking with Nick Aldis, because Nick Aldis actually filled in for Adam Pearce on the show as GM. He got interrupted by Chad freaking Gable, who's gonna rub in the face of Penta that Phoenix lost at WrestleMania, and that's literally Penta's brother, so that wasn't smart. Penta's gonna hit Chad Gable with a big blow right to the midsection, just a massive kick, so we ought to see El Grande Americano versus Penta once again, but this time it's not Chad Gable, which I'm really excited about that. Rusev had a little hype video on this show. He wasn't actually there. He just did a hype video. He said he's fixed himself. He's no longer Rusev Day. He's no longer this Russian like crazy machine of a wrestler. He's fixed himself. He's fighting for him now. He's no longer fighting for anybody else. He's not fighting for any country. He's fighting for him, and he's here to fix everybody else on the roster. So I'm not really sure what that means, but obviously he's going to be coming for some people, starting with Otis next week. He has a one-on-one match with Otis, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like WWE's going to butcher his return. I don't know. I just have a feeling. I don't have their figures, unfortunately, but Stephanie Vaquer, the NXT Women's Champion, went up against Ivy Nile in a one-on-one match, and this match absolutely smacked, bro. I love Stephanie Vaquer. I think she's doing a great job here on Monday Night Raw. They'd go back and forth, but in the end, Stephanie Vaquer would pick up the victory with her finishing maneuver, which is like an insane move, dropping Ivy on the back of like her upper back / neck area. Really good match, bro. I enjoyed it. Pat McAfee cut the pipe bomb of the century on the top of the announce table, bro. Yeah, I got Michael Cole back there. See him? Michael Cole's right behind Pat, but oh my gosh, bro. Pat McAfee dropping 2 F-bombs on the top of this desk. This promo felt like so like off script. I don't know. It was a really good vibe to this promo. Just getting to the gist of this promo. Yeah, he wants to fight Gunther, bro. So he challenges him one-on-one, and Nick Aldis agrees. He's like, let's do it. Backlash, one-on-one. Pat McAfee versus Gunther. We'll see how that goes. I'm very curious. Oh my gosh, this was a heck of a promo from Pat. Yeah, so Sami Zayn had all night to decide what he wants to do. Does he want to go to SmackDown and possibly fight John Cena or Randy Orton, whoever wins that match at Backlash? Like, what a proposal from Paul Heyman here. Sami's like, heck no, Seth Rollins. Heck no. I'm staying here on Raw, and you can go to hell, Seth. Did he make a mistake? Maybe. But, dude, I don't blame Sami one bit. Sami's never been one to make a deal with the devil being Paul Heyman in this situation. But, yeah, so Sami Zayn declines the offer, and then he has to go one-on-one with Braun Breaker, the freaking wrecking machine. So Braun Breaker's just going to absolutely annihilate Sami Zayn, spearing him multiple times, even on the outside of the ring. Absolutely chaotic. The ref had no choice but to call for the bell, and then after the match, Seth Rollins hits another curb stomp on Sami Zayn. So they just absolutely decimated this man. This poor man that didn't even have to interrupt the opening promo, Sami. Why'd you do it? Why'd you do it? You became a target. They eliminated you. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, and Paul Heyman on top here. I feel like they need to add another member. I feel like it needs to be 3 wrestlers and then 1 like mind, that being Paul Heyman. So I feel like there's going to be a 4th member, man. I really do. Solid way to end the show, keeping us thinking what's going to go down here next week on Raw. My favorite match was probably Roxanne versus Rhea Ripley. Favorite moment was Seth, Braun, and Paul taking out Sami Zayn at the end of the show. Ranking the show out of 10, I'm going to give this episode of Raw a solid 8 out of 10. What do you guys say we jump into SmackDown, baby? I cannot explain to you how much this show does not need to be 3 hours. SmackDown from Des Moines, Iowa. We're going to run through everything. This was a boring episode. We're going to talk about it regardless. There was still some decent action. This is in my Raw ring, but this is my favorite ring to use because it has the steel post covers, and it's just the best looking ring. LA Knight and Damian Priest both lost their matches at WrestleMania, so who better to open up SmackDown with than LA Knight and Damian Priest? They were blaming each other for each other's failures, and then we got a one-on-one match between them, man, because they couldn't hold their words back. So LA Knight, Damian Priest, they fought one-on-one. This match would be pretty decent, low-key, until it got interrupted by Solo Sikoa, man. Solo Sikoa messed it up last week. Here he is messing it up this week. But this time they started getting the better of Solo Sikoa until Jacob Fatu, the equalizer, all gas, no brakes, help out Solo Sikoa, take out LA Knight and Damian Priest. But did he really help out Jacob Fatu? Because now Jacob Fatu has a fatal 4-way title defense at Backlash, which is going to be amazing, by the way. Listen to these participants: Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, and Damian Priest, and Jacob Fatu, all for the United States Championship at Backlash in St. Louis. Dude, that match is going to be amazing. I mean, I'm so glad we're getting that match because, dude, the Intercontinental Championship was defended in a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania, and now we're going to see the U.S. title defended in a fatal 4-way, but this time at Backlash. But does Solo Sikoa want to see Jacob Fatu lose the title? Maybe. For Axiom, Nathan Frazier and Axiom had had another opportunity to show what they're all about when they went up against Pretty Deadly one-on-one. There was a little miscommunication at the end of this match because I believe when Nathan Frazier did like this standing moonsault on Elton Prince, I believe his elbow caught Elton Prince right in the jaw. He started bleeding from the mouth. He didn't know where the frick he was because they put him on the top rope, and bro didn't even know the next spot. So they kind of changed the ending, but it was still insane. Spanish Fly from Axiom. Then we saw another Phoenix Splash from Nathan Frazier. Amazing ending. For Axiom looks amazing. They move so fast, dude. It's insane. I don't know if Pretty Deadly's ever going to win the tag team championship straight up, but hey, good for Fraxiom. They're looking really good. Nia Jax wants a rematch for the WWE Women's Championship, so who better to come out than the Women's Champion, Tiffany Stratton? She'd interrupt Nia Jax, and then here comes Naomi, who also wants a championship match, and then here comes Jade, who wants to get a piece of Naomi. So this is going to obviously end in an all-out brawl. Leads to our main event. Yeah, this was our main event. Kind of shocking. It was a tag team match. I'll talk about it here in a few. It'll be the last match that I talk about. The Miz got an opportunity to shut down Aleister Black, but did he succeed? He might have come up a little bit short, if you know what I mean. Dude, Aleister Black back in WWE is such a breath of fresh air. Oh my gosh, he is so cold, so calm and collected. He fought the Miz. But obviously hit the Black Mass on the Miz. Pinned the Miz 1, 2, 3. After the match, I loved the little interaction he had with Carmelo Hayes. Like, Carmelo tried to sneak in the ring, maybe get a little sneak attack on Aleister Black, but it didn't work out. Dropped down, crisscross applesauce, stared down Mello, and man, it was cold. It was awesome. So you got to think this is going to be the match next week. Carmelo versus Aleister Black, and that's going to be a freaking insane one. Oh my gosh. But yes, Aleister Black does beat the Miz. Great stuff. Hey, our new United States champion, Zelina Vega. No, she didn't go up against Chelsea Green, even though Chelsea Green did want a rematch. Zelina Vega fought Piper Niven of the Secret Service one-on-one. Chelsea Green did try to jump on the apron and distract Zelina Vega, but it didn't work out. Zelina Vega takes another big W. She stacked up Piper Niven, 1, 2, 3, pins her, and escapes with the victory, dude. It wasn't a title match, but she was able to hold up the U.S. title, man, and it's cool, bro, seeing Zelina Vega as a champion, but it's only a matter of time until Chelsea Green gets that rematch and possibly gets that title back, bro. I could see that happening. Yeah, so Rey Fenix was getting disrespected by Santos Escobar backstage. Santos was just rubbing in the loss that Rey Fenix took at WrestleMania, so Fenix is like, nah, I'm not going to take this disrespect. Let's go one-on-one tonight. They did. This match was hot. It was cool. It didn't really start as like a Lucha Libre match. They were like slapping, beating the crap out of each other in the beginning, and then it got more acrobatic as the match went on. In the end, we saw an insane double knees Meteora off the top rope from Fenix right to freaking Santos' face, dude. Rey Fenix literally landing right on his knees, and Rey Fenix would pin Santos 1, 2, 3. I love Fenix so much, bro. I don't think he gets the credit he deserves. Like, this was great, bro. I just can't wait till him and Penta come together as a tag team. It's only a matter of time. So John Cena wasn't scheduled for this show, so Randy Orton just had to cut a promo all alone. Like, Cena just told the WWE Universe that he's planning on punting John Cena's head off and punting him all the way through the St. Louis Arch. You know, that monument that they have in St. Louis, like the big metal arch. So yeah, Randy Orton's planning on ending John Cena's career a little early. But low-key, dude, the promo backstage with R-Truth was better than Randy's entire promo. R-Truth, he's like fully on John Cena's side. I don't think R-Truth knows that John Cena turned heel and is a bad guy. Childhood hero hates him. R-Truth literally told Randy Orton to his face, yeah, my childhood hero is gonna beat you, man. R-Truth is 53, John Cena's 48. How is John Cena R-Truth's childhood hero? That makes no sense. This was great. Could we possibly be looking at our next women's champion, bro? Jade Cargill? Ooh, it's very well possible. Anyways, here's the tag team championship main event. I mentioned earlier, Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton had a team up, and they're not really the best of friends, and neither are Naomi and Nia Jax, brother. So Naomi and Nia Jax couldn't really get on the same page nearing the end of the match. There was a tag, like, miscommunication, and it led to Jade Cargill freaking powerbombing Nia Jax off the top rope. Insane stuff. Jade pinned Nia 1, 2, 3 for the victory for the tag team, and then after the match, the referee looks to hand the title belt to Tiffany, because obviously it's still Tiffy time. She's still the champion, and then Jade Cargill's like, nah, I want that title. Jade Cargill grabs the belt, kind of starts holding it up. If it wasn't for Naomi, bro, Naomi attacked Jade. So Naomi thinks she's going to be the next women's champion. Jade thinks she's going to be the next women's champion. You got to remember who's the champ, though. It's Tiffy time, bro. Tiffy is untouchable right now, bro. This could easily be cut down to 2 hours. I think it might even be in the works. I think WWE is planning on cutting this show down to 2 hours. It was still an okay episode of Smackdown. My favorite match was Rey Fenix versus Santos Escobar. My favorite moment was probably the interaction between Carmelo Hayes and Aleister Black. I love that moment. And ranking this show out of 10, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10, bro. I was pretty bored. Let me know your thoughts on both Raw and Smackdown from this week, and I really hope you enjoyed the week in review episode 302. Bretto Live is out. This camera's just acting